Oh,
I'm just gonna leave him there because he's not crying.
that's good.
If you hear a crying baby in the background, again,
That's
apologies.
like that's like a full-time job, right?
It is. Thank God, Mama's always home, and I'm taking care of the family. So full time job for her, more or less. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, no. How are things? I know. I think today is the exact 30-day mark.
Yes. Yeah, so things has been good. I think it was good, especially for us not knowing how busy we'll be for the new year. So I
Mm,
think this has really helped, fill in that gaps where we haven't had people book because I want the staff to be busy. I'm paying them, right? And
right.
then at the end of the day, they don't get commission, which make for unhappier staff. So I think the morale is good because all the empty spots has been filled. Um, we had I told you about the event. So this was
Yeah.
an event that actually Excite that sold us the Sylfirm. They gave us this free event thing, and it was great. To be honest,
Yeah.
it was a company that go with you. So all I had to do is just videotape content. They put it together. It was like our clients could sign up.
Right.
We had a deal. Like a special deal for the night that just ran for 24 hours, and yeah, it was great. And then I answered questions live, so everybody that attended the event could submit their questions, and that was great. Also, a lot of new clients came in, a lot of
Right.
new clients interested, even though they didn't wanted the Soul Firm. I think they just liked the
Like you
event.
just got them. You just got them in your ecosystem, and now
And
they're there for a life,
so a
pretty
lot of
much.
people from that, they didn't buy the Soul Firm then at the end because they wasn't suitable for them, but they came to do Botox or something else.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think 38 people signed up, 28 attended, 17 was interested in something,
Sure.
right? So we sold a lot of packages to 17 people that got engaged.
Nice.
Not everybody sold in the packages, but they bought something. So it was either skincare or Botox, or so I
Right.
think it was a good promotion for the clinic. And then, just seeing me, I think live and on video.
Right.
Nurse was in the video as well, so I think they got to see a little bit of the team, the clinic. So that was good. That's a good thing for your clients. I think for your business, getting a company that set up everything, right? They made it so easy for us because I'm very uncomfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But, they made it super easy. They did also your social media marketing. They send the group email out. And they say, well, 38 clients is not bad to sign up. They have had some
Sure.
bigger ones. Um, but a lot of clinics do. I think a lot of clinics are maybe smaller, not going to see that
Yeah. I
amount.
mean, some people might be in the position to do what you're doing right now, versus some are just like seriously. I mean, startup stage.
Yeah,
Where they have to take what they can get. So like, it's kind of good that you're in a position that you can really, capitalize on, you know, just you speaking to someone is more than enough for them to buy. You
yeah,
know, but I mean, the fact that like, and the thing is with RF, like your sale firm, it was strictly just kind of like a webinar almost just for that treatment that
yeah.
they just wanted to hear, and then some people just didn't buy, and they just went in for some other stuff like Botox or just anything in general. Okay.
Skincare or
Yeah.
yeah, created a
I'm
lot of like buzz
right.
around that.
Sure.
Some clients that already bought the package or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Turkey Neck also signed up.
Right.
Um, but I think it's a good thing. I might do it again, especially
Yeah.
for us being rural, because everybody don't want to come to an event. People are shy. It's a small community. Everybody knows
Yeah.
each other, so they don't
It
really
could
want to.
yeah. It could be something like a quarterly type plan. Like once every 3 months, and then see what happens there. I am curious to know though, like the reach that it like got, like how far out were people coming in from, or if you got that statistic, just because I know we're running ads in a particular radius, but I'm curious to know how far people came from that webinar.
I had it up where, let me just see. I had the spreadsheet up, is it on Chrome? Yeah, no, Chrome. No, but it was as far as Regina, because we can just
Really?
see phone numbers. So it might be somebody from Regina coming here. So as
Wow.
far as Regina, Saskatoon.
Really? From Saskatoon, that far?
But that's the thing, we can just see with their telephone number. So
Sure,
it might
sure,
be
sure.
somebody from Saskatoon that moved here.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, I would have said like an hour, maybe even an hour, 30-minute drive is the reach you'd probably get, honestly. Like some people would go that far. They'd make that trip easily.
Of people up to 4 hours.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking small. Do you think the ads as well kind of helped gain exposure for the webinar? Do you think?
Oh, the ads, it wasn't ads, it was all social media content. So
Sure,
it
okay.
was just like me and my nurse having little reels.
Yeah.
So we would send them videos and we'll make reels and social media content, and we did email blast.
Got you. And how many people were in that kind of ecosystem that like you were blasting via email? Because I know you have about like 1,200, 2,000 followers.
We did, the email list is probably around 800, 900.
Okay. And I mean, and these are all like active past clients before, like they came in.
They came in. It's all
Okay. I mean, that's
and they
awesome.
signed
I mean,
up for our they signed up for our email list.
sure. Got you. I have a few questions, and I obviously want to just keep this as like relaxed as possible about because we just promoted Michelle into account management. Like the time you kind of signed up with us was when Michelle was introduced to the new role. So I'm actually curious if you have any feedback on her as an account manager, as a whole.
Oh, I like her. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I like her. And I think everything I asked for was executed and done.
Yeah.
No, she's all good.
Cool. Any standout player besides? I mean, I know we had the initial conversation, but was there anything that maybe was like, oh wow, this is something that really I appreciated? Not even for Michelle, just in general as a whole.
General.
Because I know you said you left some quite nice feedback.
Yeah, I think you know what you're doing. Like you've done it before. You get that clients in. You actually had a lot of people coming in. Like I didn't expect that much. Yeah, I think that's good. I think for now, speaking to Austin and Michelle later on, I think probably now that I know it's maybe I get this, or I understand that you maybe don't have as much or experience with the MSLA and MFEM, but can I be your guinea pig?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. Like BTL in general, we're not partner, but we're certified in BTL, Cynosure we're partnered with, and InMode. That I mean, it shouldn't be like any other kind of rejuvenation, feminine rejuvenation type treatment we've run before. So, I don't see it not being like, but I don't know, because I saw you in terms of cash collected, it was in the midst of like 17 to 20K for Sylfirm. I'm not too sure if you've kept numbers on that, but I see on the stat sheet. But I'm curious to know what it'll be like for these new treatments.
Yeah. So you see, I'm sitting in we were really trying to build up. So I had really good growth year to year. We got reputation. I have the staff. I have everything in place. So we have not that big clinic because I'm trying to keep it still private and almost boutique-like and VIP, right? So that's another thing we try that, where I don't want to devalue or discount the services too much too often, because I think that it's not a type of client that I'm looking for, right?
Right.
So I am very hesitant to ever put Botox injections on sale, because we have a steady income in it, and it don't devalue right? If people want a sale, they can go to another clinic or to another injector, and they probably will get a less good treatment, right? We want the people that want to pay and want to have our level of service and expertise, right? So what I feel now is like, I think we had that, our schedule is getting booked full, that I was worried about.
Right.
Where, we are pretty busy enough where I'm happy for. We have a room that's just dedicated to women's wellness. And that's my room that's empty. That's also
Sure.
the room and the services that I have staff available. Like everybody's busy now with Sylfirm, laser hair removal, IPL. But the room and the staff that does that women's wellness services, that's where I have capacity to grow.
Sure.
And the
And
women,
let's just say that gets booked out, like if we're wishful thinking, which I think is very, very, you know, plausible to happen in the month of February. Like what's that next step? That like now everything's busy, you just no more marketing or what? Another spot or more people?
staff, that I
Yeah.
can hire more staff, and I've got space, so I can increase my size of my clinic if I want to.
Sure.
So that's the whole plan. Like if we, so I've got 2 nurses. I don't have an esthetician. So if the
Okay.
nurses are really getting busy, I can then probably bring in somebody new onto the team that's an esthetician that can maybe do the facials. Because
Sure.
now the nurses does everything, right?
Right.
Then maybe get an esthetician that I have a lower cost of doing, and maybe the lower cost services can go to the esthetician with a lower cost on me, and the nurses can focus on
Sure.
Sylfirm and the Emface. Yeah, because I mean, this is now,
Yeah.
we got to our 3rd year, and I'm able to pay bills, but I'm not able to pay myself or really being profitable yet, right? So everything has
Sure.
still just gone into the clinic. So I would like
Right.
to end up.
Have enough to finance a Lambo or something.
Yeah, I was like, I left being a physician, which I'm fine with. I'm happy
Yeah.
with, but I have money.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a business owner, now I don't have money.
You probably did if you know, shunted your team. You know, I completely agree. You know, like I could very much outsource to weaker A player, like C players. I'm sure you have like very pristine staff members that if I outsource to lower quality people and like pay them a third or even you know a half of what they're getting paid now, I'd be in a
Yes.
better, you know, I'd be in a better position. But obviously, it's just a build up of every single month you're in business, because technically we're still both startups. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to know, January, did you add, so what I see there on the stat sheet, was that added to your top line? Was it like a significant jump in increase, that 20K rev compared to December? Or was it just overall, like you can't see much of a trend just yet?
We have seen increase in sales for January to February, which I'm surprised to. But for
Yeah.
some reason, our sales this month, we're up. We're up on Botox, we're up on laser hair removal, we're up on skincare sales. It's almost like nobody wanted to spend money before Christmas, which is weird.
Sure.
Usually that's the time people
Yeah.
spend money. But our sales are up from December, but definitely with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like we've done very well for January, so that 20 is definitely up. But I mean, our Botox sales has increased with 10,000.
Sure.
Laser hair removal is up 4,000. IPL is up 2,000. Skincare is up, wow, almost 5,000.
Wow.
I think it's just, I don't know, maybe people didn't want to spend money in before Christmas.
I mean, I always see just congruent. Now, obviously, we have a lot of clinic partners that are outliers, that like December and November are their best months. But you know, typically, those are the lulls. You know, like we've partnered with a lot of clinics that are with us for over a year, over 2 years, and I mean, 8, 9 months out of the year are very clearly in the green. Whereas then there's like those 3 or 4 months, maybe just three, where they're just, you know, breaking even with marketing or just in general, you know, with all the other overheads. So like I always I'm not really, you know, speaking to everyone when I say this, but just if anyone was to watch this video, I always think marketing is like a year kind of projection rather than going into it month to month, because there's going to be months where you're actually dominating, you know, like in the summer months, especially if you're doing, if you know, if you have seasonal type treatments. But if you're, you know, just going into marketing and thinking, oh, 1 month is bad and then the next month is amazing, if you just did it over the course of a year, you'll definitely see like a trend that oh, these are the best months to pump, but it's still so important to market in the bad months. You know, I'm actually curious to know what your numbers would have been like in December, even though we only partnered in Jan. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, we'll see this December, hopefully.
December, yeah. So yeah, so there's still a lot of things I can add and do.
Sure.
But I don't want to grow if, you know, I really invested in BTL, which I believe in. I love the services. Like I
Yeah,
believe
it's amazing.
it's just not getting off as what we, and I don't know, it's because we are a little bit dictated by what it costs,
Yeah.
because
I,
BTL that Emface set price, the Emsala set price, right? We've done
yeah.
XCM and MFEM. We have done cheaper than what they suggested.
Yeah.
Um, but I find the BTL, for what good services it is, we're not getting that traction,
Sure.
right? The Sylfirm always sold well. Like Sylfirm was always a good seller. Our injectables are good selling points, laser hair removal, IPL. So it feels like everything I invested, we've actually seen without really doing any money in marketing. It's now just the BTL actually that I find is slower.
Sure. Would you
Slow.
say the main reservation is pricing with most of these clients that come in, or you know, potentially?
I do think it's part of my staff. I
Yeah.
think staff, we haven't had it long enough to really see the really good results, right? IPL,
Sure.
you can see, laser hair removal, you can see. So I think
Yeah.
it's so, because the staff see most of the clients. I see people that just request seeing me for consults. So
Right.
they are the big ones selling things. And I think they need to believe in the treatments and see the results. So we may be early days, but
Sure.
we have been seeing excellent result with the chair, the MSLA and MFEM. And that's why I'm thinking that's two services that I know the staff know work, and we've been getting excellent feedback with it.
Sure. And you said staff. Is it a case that like, how much time do you, obviously I know you do, but like, are you kind of investing a lot of like sales training with these guys, or like, what's kind of the process of getting them up to kind of like a standard that, you know, they're talking about it like the way you do?
None of us had training to do it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think I sell most of the packages and things. I think the nurses are getting better, but if you have any suggestions of, you know, a training that I can do for the staff,
Yeah.
where I have been trying to change them and say, it's like, you know what, don't feel bad. This is premium services and it's people's choices. You don't know what's going on in their wallet. It's
Yeah.
none of your business knowing what's going on in their
Of
wallet
course.
of
Of course.
stuff. If they want it, sell it, right?
Yeah.
We have been talking about it, or we would say it's like somebody finished with a treatment, tell them what's next, right?
Yeah.
Would say, oh, you know what, I've got a kitchen renovation, or, you know, I need to renovate my house. Then he would say, but if you haven't had to do that, what would you do next? Like things like
Sure.
that. So,
I
but
mean, I
a
think,
training would be a specific training for all of us, even me.
no, I'm more than happy to provide that and help. And I mean, I like that you're being very humble when you say even you, because the packages that I see in the stat sheet, like they're in the 2,000-3,000 range. I'm curious to know like what's being operated that you're selling these kind of numbers, you know, because they're quite high ticket packages. So for someone who's still willing to kind of learn, I know people that can't even sell packages above $1,000, and you seem to be doing it fine. Like, what's the, you know, process right now for your
So
Sylfirm and Emface?
yeah, so that's Sylfirm. So the ads that you were running was for the Sylfirm.
Yeah.
So usually for me, I was like, I'll suss out, and of course assessing
Yeah.
people, because I think for me it's really important getting people results more than anything else. Like people have to get results. So Sylfirm, the package we would sell if somebody doesn't have a severe
Yeah.
neck, right? So I will tell them and I would say to them, listen, that's $900 off buying the three. So I would almost say it like that. Your value that you get is $900 that you save. Also, they pay 50% to secure the
Yeah.
package, and then 25% on their second treatment, 25% on their third. And people seem to
Sure.
really like that, because then the payments are split.
Sure.
The Emface that we throw in there, we're not making a lot of profit, but I'm scared clients won't get results with just the Sylfirm
Right.
for this. So we would say, oh, you know, your anatomy or what we need to treat is it's more extensive. Let's add the Emface, and that is $3,400 in value that you get.
Sure.
Usually people hear that and they're like, oh, wow, okay. And then I feel a little bit more comfortable that Sylfirm alone probably won't give them that good results, but with Emface.
Yeah.
So we're not making that much profit on that packages, but I think what we're doing is getting the bookings full and almost getting the hype or the excitement about Emface.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I think that like the fact that you're just introducing them to that side of things, and they may, you know, they might come along for something further down the line is good. But do you think maybe, you know, obviously we're getting them in for a set price. Do you think maybe, because I know you're probably doing some of the consults on your team, that you're leaning on, you know, more additional value, but still remaining at like the 2,000, 3,000 range could be hurting you guys more, that you could, like, if you had, you know, like you could sell the exact same thing that you're selling, but for like $4,000 rather than 3. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm already thinking of making a new package.
Sure.
Last year we ran a great package with, oh goodness. It was, we called it the Moda Transformator, the Moda Ultimate Transformation, and it sold very well under, you know, people that's in their 50s or 60s or 70s, somebody that just comes with advanced aging. We gave them 3 IPLs, 3 Sylfirms, 4 Emfaces, 4 Exions, and skincare for 6,000.
Well,
which were, you know, it was almost a value of 5,000-6,000 that they saved. That sold easily. So this year for January, I brought that up and do it now for 7,000 instead of 6. And it's still.
Did you do how many of those did you sell that month with Jan?
Oh, I'm not keeping track.
5, 10?
Probably around 5. No, it's less. Probably for January, we probably did around 3.
Sure. And I mean, that's a treatment plan over the course of like a 6-month extension. Sure. I mean, that only comes to like $1,000 a month. That like that's a value pack that, I mean, I always kind of speak to clinic owners and say, hey, look, whatever you can like pack in at that like 5,000 plus amount, like run an ad that just gets you to that conversation. You know, like even if it's just Sylfirm or you're even running a Botox campaign, that you're just getting as much foot traffic as possible, and you're even getting your repetitions in as well. That like if you're running an ad, not saying you're discounting something, but if you're running something that everyone can get pushed in for, you know, let's just say like 20 units of Botox, like full price, let's just say $200, and you know, they're coming in for that. You're getting way more conversations. Now maybe your numbers in terms of your close rate might decrease, but if you're getting like 50 people come in for Botox and your close rate is even just 10%, not only are you making money from the Botox, just initial promo, but you're also getting 10% of those people move forward on treatment plans because you further discuss that with them post-treatment. So like, I think there's always a lot of things we can do and for anyone else to do. Because if you have that treatment plan out and you have it like already articulated that like, hey, look, this is what we've done, and already people have bought it, that it should be like a common theme that you just sell packages, like that you only sell treatment plans. Like, you know, like,
have you got any experience, like say things that I know now people sell and just like acne scarring?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of clinics that do, you know, like, I mean, with acne scarring, a lot of people use still RF micro, you know, with that. And I mean, with acne scarring, there's probably a lot of melasma and hyperpigmentation too. So, you know, like obviously you don't do too much trauma, but they're doing like a long-term treatment plan. Like a lot of our Cynosure clinic partners, you know, that have Potenza and PicoSure, you know, they obviously try to combine those as much as possible. I mean, Pico and Cyno are probably like 700 a pop each, you know, even at like a lower rate, and they'll need 3 of each probably. So, you know, you're already talking like $4,000 here. And more than likely they're getting like peels prior to it for, you know, maybe lifting the skin, and then like, and then they might want Botox or something after that. Like, there's so much that you can just jam pack into it with the skincare, and just obviously because you're, you know, quite an experienced consultant, you know, the consultation alone could be of high value. You know, giving them that insight on their thing that you can just say, hey, that's free if you invest in this. You know, and we have a lot of people that have Alma IQ, and just like basically 3D, 4D skin scanners that like they you know put in for them, so it just makes it feel like it's more of a pristine, luxurious experience that, you know, it's almost silly not to invest into it, because it's $6,000, $7,000 over the course of 6 months, and everything in terms of all the bad, like you know, idiosyncrasies to your skin, even like one little huge zit that's killing me right now, is like, look, that they'll all go away. Like, it's just one. It's really annoying. Whatever. But whatever, you know.
Because you're so young, that's why.
I'm stressing out. Too much stress. But it's all good. Kids. I'll blame it on that. You know, the diet's good, the sleep is good, but maybe it's the business. Who knows?
Always some underlying stress. No, I've done a lot of changes. I was like you, so too much stress last year, and then I changed a few things.
Yeah.
This year, and now I feel like.
So what did you cut off? Because I know that's what happened.
I needed to break up my relationship. So that's
sure.
way more, less stress on me, like way less.
I'm sure.
Also how I see my staff. I think there I had you want your staff to do everything like you do.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean,
so if you get 70% out of them, it's good, and you should be happy. And then I think also not getting upset if they do something wrong or don't do anything. I see it now as just a bad system. We just don't have the right system in place.
Right.
Then we work together, and it's this month of January already went much better.
Sure.
Yeah.
So. No, I agree. I mean, you know, like if I don't like being a micromanager, you know, so like if I have to do that, then I already know. Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I still do it, but what I'm saying is I only micromanage the people that are shown to not be trustworthy, you know. So like when I have team players and I have like a super strong team, and that's like I headhunted all of January, and I've already had 3 new hires in Jan, that, you know, I already know like the tools, the operations, and our service will always improve, but like over time in terms of being a growing pain. But it's just the team that's something that I'm really trying to just, you know, like they need to be A players across the board, when maybe it's like a B, C plus at current. That, like, you know, that's always going to be changed, because of course you need to keep them happy, make sure their goals are aligned with your goals, and you need to make sure, you know, they're being compensated, and they enjoy their workspace. And because you're a brick and mortar, it's even more of like, you know, for me, everyone's remote, they're behind a computer, they can do whatever, you know. Everyone on my team, they can travel, whatever. But I mean, brick and mortar, it's a different ball game altogether, because you have to be there with them and manage those Oh, big time. I mean, you got to manage personalities, like really manage personalities. And also, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I've never had a company where I've met my team, you know, but I've never had a company where I'm, you know, the daily workspace is me seeing you every day and saying, hey, I need this done, this done, this done. So it's probably more commendable that, you know, you're running a company like that rather than me doing it remotely.
Yeah, no, it's up and downs, but I think it's there, like keeping your head, like for me, it's like keeping my head level and not getting worked up or upset.
Yeah.
Like they have their bad days. I can have my bad days, but it shouldn't influence how I run the business and how I treat the staff.
Big time.
Yeah, but it's a good experience. I mean, like this whole business, I like it because you learn so much, right? Like
totally. I mean, I think like it's just about establishing good people around you, and then as soon as you know, like, okay, I take my foot off the pedal while they're still driving, and you know, that might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take forever, so that's all we can do, seriously. I mean, I hope this is an extended, long relationship with us, because
yes. So like I said, I really like I don't I really would like, and I've got lots of other ideas. The whole thing is like I don't want to grow quicker than what we can, where we sacrifice customer care or not getting the right staff, or our existing clients don't feel that they get the same level of care. So I've got a 3,000 square foot place right next to us where I can expand, right? Because we're getting full. Like the clinic where we are now is, I have to split some of the rooms in the summer, but we already are too limited. Like we can't have more people working like what we are because the space don't allow it. So I do have space to grow. So growing, and it's like, I'm just now thinking, it's like, yes, do we add more equipment, right? If you add more equipment, it's going to take away services, because now even I think the girls don't know what to recommend. Oh, we've got Exion, we've got Sylfirm, we've got this, we got that, right? Like, where I think now, even because a lot of this radio frequency devices also do more or less the same thing. Like there's a lot of things that I want to add, but this will come with time. But I'm very tempted in renovating the space next door and almost have like two places. Like we get our medical aesthetics on the one side and your wellness on your other side. So your wellness on the other side, we can do the chair, we can do wart removal, skin tags, like
You know, I didn't ask this. What was your original background as a physician, or did you have any specialty?
So I was supposed to just be in Canada for a year and then go back to South Africa to become a plastic surgeon. But then I never came back. So and then I just were happy in Canada. And then I did family physician. I was a family physician and ER physician. But I have surgical background. So I've done quite a bit of surgery in South Africa.
No, the reason I ask is because we actually have a lot of partners that, just like you have one spot for wellness, one spot for X. And, you know, like we have plastic surgery clinics that have a medical spa on the side. Like side by side next to each other. And then we have like a dermatology clinic, or even like an obs and gynae clinic is probably the most common, that they have a wellness side of their business, like similar to yours. And then we obviously have a few run the mills where medical spa and then day spa, or medical spa and then, you know, like almost like just like an actual spa, you know. So
mine, I think usually it's probably the OBGs or the derm that go into the med spa. But I think there's such a lack of services in Yorkton. And then the services, I think the services that get done here is so substandard. You could also, where I say, I want to focus, like I can say that to you, I don't sell it to the girls, but I really don't want customers that can't pay. Like, don't want them. So when we go into the medical side, it's going to be your people that can pay. If you can't pay the prices, that are not always sad not having clients, because if you don't, if you can't pay our prices, it's probably not the space for you.
I mean, especially once they like, it's more medical grade stuff, you know, like a lot of clinics that we have that have like a consultant power as the powerhouse, they do a lot better because, you know, I mean, all you need to do is one quick research on the consultant, then you're saying, okay, they have XYZ tailored around what they've done and case studies at the wazoo. That, I mean, even if it was just basic treatments, like I always see, this is actually something that I commonly see for clinics, that if their injector is a consultant, and obviously their prices are more higher. Now I see this at a lower level, like PMU, where the master esthetician does the brows and then her staff members do the brows, but they're like significantly cheaper. I always see it that even though it's more expensive to get, you know, your injectables done by that, you know, doctor rather than the licensed esthetician or even the RN, they still pay that extra price point because they have that backing. So, you know, you're always going to find affluent people wherever you're at. Like we work with some of the most unbelievable locations, like not as rural or not as, you know, high profile or XYZ about them. There's people with money in every corner. You know, so there's no.
I would rather have 500 high-paying clients, than 2,000 low-paying clients.
Big time, big time. I mean, you have to market yourself as that. industry leader, and obviously establishing a brand that you're more of that luxurious, lucrative clinic rather than, something that gets everybody in. But I mean, either or works. They both, probably put bread on the table. But it's about positioning.
Yeah.
And the high ticket, luxurious takes a lot longer. And you need good team, and being a doctor 100% helps you.
Yeah.
Do
you have any suggestions for like training in sales?
I mean, I 100% have like training plans. Like you already have, I'd say 80% of it down when it comes to like having a treatment plan, and your processes.
But teaching the girls how to sell.
Big time. I mean, my biggest like way of teaching is doing like mock trainings. Like I tell clinic owners all the time, and we can get into it. Like we can have another meeting, we can meet your team and really have it home. Now, I'm not too sure if you want to do this, but the best way to sell is to just do like mock trainings, like mock sales pitches. Like actually as if you're sitting in front of one of your staff members, pretending like you're an ideal prospect that has money, that's going to fire away with a million objections, that's probably a little bit insecure, that has XYZ going on, and doing that every single day. So that if you get an objection, it's not but it's like it quick fires out. Like that, you have that response immediately because you probably already know everything you need to say. It's just the confidence in saying it and believing in it, like having your team believe in it like you do. And standing very set in stone on your prices, because you don't have a problem selling packages, obviously, just by looking at the stat sheet and making 20 grand in your first month. But maybe it's the confidence in like, oh shit, I might have said something, excuse my French, like, oh, I don't want to offend someone by saying my price is X when I really want to sell even more than that. And then you just go back into selling at a price. You're like, I know people buy at this price, so I'm just going to say this price. And I always did that for years, but now I just like the way you're saying it, you have to be able to walk away from a sale that even if you know they were going to buy at 3 grand, you don't sell it at 3 grand. You say, okay, it's 5K. Obviously there's going to be more to it than just like 5 grand, then they give you objection, and then but that's the way I like to think when I tell my numbers, and you're going to get more upset people.
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing now where I'm thinking, it's like if we, I like how we are busier, but it's not a big profit margin that we're making that I really see here. We're covering costs and we're getting busier. Yes, I understand, but I think now, especially now that we are getting really booked, now it's a good time to actually still give discounts for packages, but not people getting like over 50% off. Right, I'm happy with that 30% off if they buy packages.
I mean, there's three things that I look at, like when it comes to like my business or just any business in general, and that's cost per acquisition, which is how much you're spending to get this person in the door, which is really good for you because it looks like you get a lot of traction with just $1,500 on ads. So like if your cost per acquisition is low, that's good. If your long-term value, like lifetime value, is good, meaning you're treating someone and they're going to come in and they're either going to be like a lifetime client, or you've got them for 3, 4, maybe even 5 more visits. That's also good. But the number one thing that's hardest to increase is the price per person. So like, let's just say your cost per acquisition is $100, and every average person that comes in sees you 5 times, so they spend $500 total. Like so it spent £100 to get 500 back. And that's you never seeing them again. You have to figure out a way to increase that. Every single person you spend $100 on to acquire, you're getting them spend $1,000. And that is 100% something that we focused on all of January or all of 2024. Because we move forward with any clinic and every clinic, whereas now we're very specific with like just full blown medical spas, and they have to have BTL, cynosure, and InMode, or like Sylfirm, or like high end machines. And I mean, I got a lot of upset people when we started saying, look, we're probably not a good fit. But then, I might have partnered with less people monthly, but the people I'm partnering with, I know they're staying with me for a long time because they literally have exactly what we can help them with, and they're getting good ROI with their spend towards us. So I mean, I didn't really increase my prices. I just repositioned myself, and that's probably all you need to do,
Yeah.
with your clients in front of you, which is telling them, hey, look, I mean, it's knowing your worth as well. Like I undersold our company for so too long that it might be something you're doing, but it's a building game. Like if you increase your LT or your price per person, even $50 more every single month, that adds up. That like every new person coming in, by the end of the year, you've added $500 to your price per person. Then let's just say you see 30 people normally on a month. You just added 500, so you just added basically $1,500 or $15,000, just because you're gradually increasing your prices, or not even increasing your prices, you're gradually decreasing the discounts you're giving with those packages. So
Yeah.
the way I started, and I'll get into it, I'll give you like a full kind of breakdown, and we can get into more meetings, was I started testing the waters. I was like, because our fees used to be like $12.50 CAD, and I realized that's good if my team are really weak, and it's good if this is this. And this was 4 years ago, by the way, when we would work with anyone. We'd literally work with anybody. And then I started saying, okay, let me try sell my services for 1,500, and then sell it for 1,600, and then 17. Like I did those little, and then it's just a slow confidence build. That it's not going to be an overnight, like, oh, I should have sold at like 25 or $3,000, and even more than that when it's bigger partners. But I realized like there's a good sweet spot with our monthly offer. And then but I didn't just immediately go from selling at $12.50 to $2-3 grand. It was definitely gradually seeing how much I could push that needle forward. And then I'm like surprising myself sometimes, like, oh, this person can afford it. I'm not like, I'm like, it's 1,600. It's more like, and they're like, okay, let's do it. And it's just gradual build up from that. And I wouldn't go too crazy too soon. They're like, no, not $3,000. If someone's still willing to, I'll take what I can get, sometimes. And it obviously depends on how I feel that day too. And I'm sure you have like days where you're just on fire, where like everything's going the right way, that, you're selling packages. And then there's days where you're like, look, I don't know what's going on. So, but as long as you're gradually increasing your prices across the board, or your package selling, then you should be in a good position. And if you're always thinking like that, you always will be.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but that's just my 2 cents on that. Like I obviously own the business, but like my expertise isn't consulting or marketing. Well, it is marketing, but it's definitely headhunting and sales. I'm good at finding the right people and selling anything. I wouldn't even consider myself an educator. Like I know a lot of people ask me for like sales advice. I obviously still do, but I'm still new to the game too. And I always learn from. I've mentors myself that I invest heavily into to learn. So it's always a flow state. I'm never. I might learn one thing and then it's completely redundant like 3 months later.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just always take things with a pinch of salt.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I'm not too sure if you're starting your day yet.
Yeah, I need to get the manager to start all the tasks I have for her today, because I'm not seeing. Usually, I don't see clients on Mondays. Then I get to get all my meetings and paperwork done.
I saw you shaved. You got rid of the mane. Why is that? Or is it just that you needed it?
Oh, so I'm busy training my nurse. So so it's hard to find models or people that's willing to do.
Okay.
I shaved and I told her she did some sculpture injection me this weekend.
Nice. I mean, it's good.
I think the bruises nicely hide it. It's still but yeah.
Sure. You kept the mustache though.
I do.
You had to keep that. You had to leave.
And I have long hair, then I have short hair. Then then it's all gone.
As long as you can rock all the looks, that's all that matters. At least you can, do two different personalities. But yeah, no, it looks good. Anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time. If you have any questions, obviously fire away. I think Austin's already cracking on with your ads.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, I'm meeting with him and Michelle this afternoon, and then I think even if we don't get as much in as what we did with the Sylfirm, I think it's just really getting it out there. I really that's why I bought BTL, was because of the women's wellness.
Yeah,
Now just to get to a way where we can actually sell it or get people to,
sure.
because the word's coming around, like the girls are talking. So somebody comes in and like, oh, you know what, my
Yeah.
life improved, or this has improved. And then we get, but it's too slow for my liking. We've got the room, we got the staff, we got the devices, which I would really like to see the BTL women's wellness services moving.
No, I'm with you. I mean, that's all. I think we can make it work for February for sure.
Excellent. No, I appreciate it.
No, thanks for talking. I always
Yeah.
want to check in every single month.
Yes.
No,
Thanks.
it's good to see you. No, for sure. I'll let you go.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.